Welcome to the GAMERamble first look video for Assassin at Crimson Keep. My name is Darklight and I'm joined by
Nimby or Mrs. Cloud.
This game is developed and published by Shadowglass Studios, and it's a short visual novel set in a dark quasi-fantasy world.
Okay.
So we have new game, we've got load game with settings, extras and quit. And in extras we've got achievements, watch prologue and credits. So I think we'll start up the prologue, which starts up as soon as you start the game.
On Earth. The weird head on the back. The key. That explains it.
Interesting art style.
Yeah, I was just thinking. What you usually see in visual novels.
Yeah. Very hand-drawn.
The assassin is in big trouble now.
Yeah, so as you've seen there, that's a botched assassination attempt, and you pursue the king into his lair known as the Crimson Keep. And apparently your small choices can have great consequences, either for good or for evil.
Okay.
So in settings we've got windowed or full screen display, rollback slide, disable left or right, skip unseen text or after choices or transitions, and then you can also set the text speed, auto forward time, the music volume and the sound volume. Okay, so let's get started. Well, that didn't go as planned. Despite your genius preparations, the king was ready for your assassination attempt. No doubt he was warned by Wilkins that Taffery should have never called a friend. Maybe Wilkins will get a visit tonight. After you dispose the benevolent king of his life, of course. Time will tell. Luckily, as the rest of your spy network is moderately reliable, tracking the king to his Crimson Fortress was simple enough. Said that this mountain lair is where the king practices his dark magics, creating unimaginable horrors for his own sadistic pleasures. You have your doubts, but best be on guard anyway. After your failed attempt on their king's life, you'd think the guards would be on higher alert. Slipping past them without raising the alarm will probably be the easiest thing you do all night. Here we go. As you enter the pitch black cave, your dark vision lenses kick in.
So handy.
The sight before you matches the musty smell of decay and stagnant water one might expect from any natural cave. If it wasn't for the obvious guards out front, it might have actually taken you some modicum of time to find the entrance. The cave splits off to the right, or you can continue north. So already we have a choice. The north passage gives you no hint of what may lie ahead. Approaching the east cavern, you hear a very faint melody off in the distance. Is that orcish? No, more likely goblinese. So I'm assuming there's going to be enemies that way. Let's try north. Ah, a completely non-suspicious treasure chest sitting in the middle of a cave.
Oh yeah.
Perfectly normal chest.
You're gonna open it.
So we can go south, which goes back to the cave entrance, or hear the soft rustle of leaves to the east.
Oh dear.
Let's look at this perfectly normal chest.
Two.
So we can examine it or open it. I think that just opening it will probably be ill-advised. So let's examine it first. You notice faint scorch marks near the front of the chest. Thankfully, you didn't sleep through Professor Parrish's class on disarming magical traps. You deftly disabled the trigger, which would have unleashed something unholy upon your person. When you open the chest, you find a glittering, definitely magical key, which you tuck away for safekeeping.
Okay, that's cool to have.
Just before turning from the chest, you notice a bottle of dragon blood connected to the trigger you disarmed. The hairs on your neck spasm at the thought of what would have happened to you had the blood erupted. Caution is certainly due while in this cave.
Oh, could the story have ended this quickly already?
I guess so. It does say there's got 6 mostly different endings, but it's about 15 to 30 minutes per run through.
Okay.
So not a very long game, but let's go see what this soft rustling of leaves to the east entails. Before you is the most horribly obvious trap you could possibly have in a cave, a pile of leaves sitting in the center of the corridor. That's rather insulting. Faint sound of snorting can be heard from the east, and the enemies or whatever it is that way. Well, let's go see what is snorting.
Don't step on a trap.
As you enter this part of the cave, you pause at the faint sound of snorting. You glance around but see nothing out of the ordinary. Another snort sends your eyes downwards to see the most adorable little minotaur. A minotaur, perhaps? The minotaur is snorting wildly as you smile down at it. It stamps its itty-bitty hoof, getting ready for a charge. Do you let it hit you or move to the side? I don't know, those horns still look pretty sharp.
Yeah, I would still jump. Reflexes.
Yeah. Minotaur charges and you move to the side. You're glad you do, as the tiny Minotaur picked up a lot of speed. Maybe too much speed. Passes you and seems unable to stop, disappearing into the darkness behind you. With a soft rustle of leaves, you deduce it fell into the leaf trap you passed. That was definitely strange. Can we go check if it's actually in the trap?
Now full of Minotaur. It said that.
Oh, poor little thing. The Minotaur that rushed you found its way through the leaves and ended up in a spike pit. Lucky thing, it's so small, it fell right in between the spikes and is dozing happily. You find it appropriate to name the Minotaur. Banjos should do.
Okay, so
Banjo is now sleeping in a spike pit. Okay. You cannot make out anything peculiar deeper into the cave. That on its own was already ominous. As you enter this area, the key you recovered from the chest seems to be dragging you towards the east. To the south is more cave. So, to the south you hear the stiff clink of metal on metal, undoubtedly a suit of heavy armor. The hair on the back of your neck stands at attention when looking down this eastern passage. Either it's powerful magics or intense evil, or both. Evil or armor?
Yeah.
Let's go south for a bit, I think.
The armor is yours, that could be cool.
Before you stands the most out-of-place door you've ever seen. It's surely all that stands between you and your prey. That, and the enormous knight clad in black plate mail. The key in your pouch reacts to something. The black knight, previously unaware of you, now looks right in your direction.
The key!
Though you cannot see the knight's face, you get the feeling your very soul is being scrutinized. The feeling vanishes, and the knight's posture slackens almost imperceptibly.
Please, save the princess. That key you bear will free her.
Suddenly the knight stops and stiffens. Her next words are strangled as if fighting to be released.
You must hurry. I don't know how long I can withstand the king's sorcery.
So I turn around and go back, or attack? She said I must hurry. She didn't say hurrying with what. Okay, let's turn around, I guess. You decide it's best to do as the knight asks. Perhaps she'll calm down upon your return. Guess we're gonna go look at this evil then. As you walk through this section of the cave, the magic you felt earlier grow more and more powerful. You feel goose flesh crawling all over your body. Finally, you emerge into a chamber that has been further hollowed out by machines. Before you is a caged door. The closer you draw toward it, the stronger the magics pull at your very being. A key in your pocket begins to pulse with the same magics. As you peek through the bars, you notice a small bundle of clothes. You jump back as the clothes move, revealing a young woman staring back at you.
Orion? Oh, you're not one of my father's guards.
No, I am not. You are the Princess Elia?
I am his one and only precious daughter, who is doted on as other girls can only dream.
She spreads her arms a bit. What you mistook for ornate bracelets are revealed to be bindings of magic. If it makes you feel better, I plan on killing him.
That's all well and good, but I'd be far more grateful if you'd just let me go. After that...
So, why did your father imprison you? Who's Orion? And do you know how I can free you? Let's find out why her father imprisoned her.
Besides the fact that he's a lunatic?
Sure.
I believe he's under the assumption that to keep me pure, I need to be sheltered from the outside world.
It's one way, I guess. But pure from what?
Something to do with his magics, I think. Or my... You know what? It's preferable to just assume he's a nutjob.
He certainly is that. So, who's this Orion?
My bodyguard.
She doesn't seem to be doing a very good job.
My father has trapped her in her own mind. She's protecting him now, though against her will.
Ah, we briefly met.
And you survived? Bravo!
Well, the princess is certainly strong-willed, despite it all.
I believe she's strong enough to break free if the right opportunity presents itself.
Such as?
Such as the chance to rescue me.
Do you know how I can free you?
I imagine that glowing key in your pockets might have something to do with it.
Yes, quite possible. So, do we use the key on the lock or let her rot?
Bam, use it.
Okay,
Free the
using it.
princess.
As the key turns in the lock, the magics in the room, as well as the key, dissipate. The chains dissolve, leaving no trace the girl was ever imprisoned, other than the emotional scar she'll surely possess for the rest of her life.
Well, thank you. Who ever said that the assassins are soulless scum?
Pretty much everyone.
I really thought I'd be here for the rest of my life.
You're very welcome. Do you need help getting to the surface? Afraid of yet another escort mission? You're relieved at her reply.
I will be fine. But please, do not kill Orion. Though her presence can be terrifying, she's not a bad person, merely under some vile spell from my father.
She pulls a small object from beneath her rags.
Show her this, but be quick, as she is faster than she looks. If she sees this, it should break the spell my father put on her.
Should?
Magic isn't an exact science, you know.
I guess it'll have to do. On wobbly legs, the princess passes by you and into the cave.
If you ever decide murder for hire isn't really your thing, come by the palace. My palace. I have a feeling you could do great things if you've ever felt inclined.
So, you can see the Black Knight pacing back and forth further on, or we can go back to where we encountered the Minotaur. I don't think I want to progress too much of the story, seeing as the playthroughs are
Very short.
very short, so maybe let's see if we can get into some trouble with whatever was in the front of the cave. See if it's actually possible to make mistakes. Okay, we're back where we started. Better get a move on if you want to kill the king and make tons of money. Let's see what's over here.
In the Eastern Cavern.
See before you a rather old and worn-out goblin, warming himself by a fire, humming a surprisingly beautiful tune. Even with your mask on, the stench of the poor creature is nearly unbearable, and you stifle a gag. Kill the goblin.
Good.
Silently slip your dagger into the unsuspecting goblin's back. His final melody echoes down the corridor before it is silenced forever.
That was anticlimactic. I thought you were going to have this massive battle or something, and it's just like, yeah, you're an assassin, I guess.
Yeah, and that's how it all ends. And if you want to find out how the full story ends, check out Assassin at Crimson Keep. It's out now on Steam, and if you like visual novels with a bit of unusual story and a unique art style, this could be a good one, especially if you don't have the time to sit through some of the lengthier dating-related or magical girl or typical other visual novels out there.
Yeah, this is quite different from a lot of the other types. Very cool. Thank you. Remember to like, subscribe, and share if you enjoy our videos.
Until next time.
Bye.